Evening all, it's Monday night, just after 7, so it's time to go wild. The Time to Go Wild radio show here live on 92.3 FM Halton Community Radio. We're live across the internet on w.hcr923fm.com/listen and via TuneIn. You can contact this show, facebook.com and twitter.com/ttgw radio. You can email us radio@widnesworld.co.uk. You can drop us a phone call on 01928 835 We also have text 07716 672 874. Evening, Doug.
Good evening, Cole. How are you?
I'm all right. It was an interesting game last night. A bit of a change.
It was, yeah. It was, I find women's ice hockey more technical than men's.
It's a bit more of a sedate pace, but definitely had some lively moments in it, I can say that much.
There was a couple of good goals as well.
And one of our young players had a really, really good game, being man of the match there, young Katie Fairclough. Absolutely storming game she had.
Oh, yes.
And my goodness, set of wheels that can move on ice. And good stick handling. So,
and stops as well.
Yeah, she was all over the shop, I must admit. But it's been a busy week across the league, so I suppose I'd better do this. And it's time for the classified roundup of results from across the ice hockey leagues, from the Champions Ice Hockey League, Elite Leagues, NIHL Division 1 North 1 and 2, and the Women's Premier League. Starting in the Champions Hockey League, on Tuesday, TPS Turco 5, Nottingham Panthers 2. And on Wednesday, Vaxjo Lakers 3. Vaxjo Lakers 3, Cardiff Devils 2. Moving down to the Elite Ice Hockey League for Saturday, Sheffield Steelers 3, Nottingham Panthers 4 in a shootout. Manchester Storm 4, Dundee Stars 3 in another shootout. Braehead Clan 5, Edinburgh Capitals 3. Moving on to Sunday, Nottingham Panthers 6, Belfast Giants 3, Edinburgh Capitals 1, Manchester Storm 3, Fife Flyers 5, Braehead Clan 1, Dundee Stars 2, Sheffield Steelers 5. Moving to the Elite League Challenge Cup on Saturday, Cardiff Devils 2, Guildford Flames 3 in overtime. Milton Keynes Lightning 5, Coventry Blaze 1, Belfast Giants 5, Fife Flyers 0. And on Sunday, Coventry Blaze 2, Cardiff Devils 3, Guildford Flames 2, Milton Keynes Lightning 3 in a shootout. Now into the NIHL Division 1 North Morley for Sunday. Sheffield Steel Dogs 6, Nottingham Lions 2, Dragons D1 2, Blackburn Hawks D1 7, Solihull Barons 9, Hull Pirates 8 after overtime, Bellingham Stars 3, Whitley Warriors 4. Now moving down to the NIHL Division 2 North Ladler. For Saturday, Bradford Bulldogs 5, Telford Tigers D2 7, Dragons D2 1, Hull Jets 11, Coventry Blaze NIHL 1, Altrincham Aces 4, Sheffield Senators 6, Sutton Sting 8. On Sunday, Altrincham Aces 14, Dragons D2 0, Blackburn Hawks D2 1, Sheffield Senators 4, and finally the NIHL English Women's Premier Ice Hockey League. Kingston Diamonds 0, Chelmsford Cobras 6, and finally Widnes Wild Women 3 and the Nottingham Vipers 5. Those both from Sunday. That's the roundup of the results for the last week. At the end of the game, I managed to catch a few words with assistant captain for the Widnes Wild Women, Sophie Sinclair Reeks. Widnes Wild Radio, we were catching up with Sophie Sinclair Reeks after the Wild Women were taking on the Nottingham Vipers. Sophie, your reaction to the result?
I think we definitely pulled it back in third period. If we'd played how we did in third period every single, I think we could have had that. But it's just unlucky. It was the first game back of the season, and we did what we could. But yeah, it's a good game. It was a close game. Close game.
So new players as well, a few missing, so a bit of a different shape to the squad.
It was. Katie, number 13, had an absolute brilliant game. She well deserved man of the match. It was brilliant. We had a lot of new faces, a lot of missing, but I think we did well to adapt to it, especially the third period. It took a while to get going, but it was good.
So for the season going forward, is it looking good for the squad?
I think it's looking good. We've got a lot of stuff to work on in training. We're going to go back Thursday, work hard, and we're going to come back fighting from that, definitely.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the season. We'll catch up with you again as the season goes on.
Thank you. So,
Sophie with a few wise words from the dressing room after the match. And it was a very, very intriguing game at times. I mean, we got quite feisty as well.
We got feisty. It was quite good that Mikey Gilbert was on the bench.
Yes, Mikey
and
taking
using his experience along with Lewis. So I think if they continue to listen and learn, then they will go far.
Yeah, I mean, our stats for last night from the game. Excuse me. Linda Decker, 1 goal, 1 assist. Sarah Roberts, 1 assist. Emma Pearson, 1 goal. And Amanda Williams, 1 goal. And it was really well-drilled teams. In fact, a very well-disciplined game, I must admit. The amount of penalties was minimal. It was only, 4 minutes aside.
Yeah.
In fact, I had to laugh at one point when there was too many players on the ice call against Nottingham, and they're like looking and go, "What do you mean too many on the ice?" And then they stood there counting up. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's probably 5 goal. You're not 6 and goal. But it's early days for the season. You've got the table up here, and it's only very, very early. I mean, all the teams, they only play 1 game against each other, home and away. And at the moment, Chelmsford and Swindon are at the top of the table, with Bracknell and MK Falcons at the bottom. But it's very early, and it's only 1 or 2 games played. I mean, the makeup of the league, they've had a bit of a change around. Teams from last season, they've still got Chelmsford, Milton Keynes, Widnes, of course, Kingston, which is Hull's Women's Premier League team, and Nottingham, but they've gained Bracknell from D1, and Swindon have come down from the Elite League, with Streatham going up. But it's going to be a competitive season in the Women's.
Yes. Small games, so it should be good.
Yeah, I mean, last season we had some very interesting results as well.
Well, there was, getting back to the women's game, it was quite a good crowd as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah, what to mention? I think it was about 40 plus people there.
Yeah.
And again, that surprises the Vipers when they came out, because it's you've got spectators. It's just not your mums and dads. It's proper people watching.
Oh no, spectators, announcements, music, camera.
Yeah, right, selection.
So yeah, we do recommend you come down and support the women when if you can't make it to a men's game or any other events. Why not? It is different, and it is a good watch.
Yes, it is.
Don't forget, highlights are online now tonight. Don't forget, you can contact the show 01928 835 291, and we have texts 07716 672 874. Text is charged at your standard message rate, so we want to know your comments, your thoughts. Get in touch with us. We're going to take a little break for a little bit of music, and in fact, it's not the song I was going to play. We're going to play this one from the Shires and a little bit of Drive. And now we're going to be a little earlier than normal. We sit back and relax and enjoy the thoughts this Monday, of course, of Mike Mars Monday Mantra.
And this week's mantra is: this weekend was one with no hockey for the guys. The weekend off has given us a well-deserved break after having a tough run of games in the past weeks. Although we've had a weekend off, we aim to carry on the 7-game win streak against the Sheffield Centres next week when we're at home. We will be in for a tough game, as it seems the Senators have had a tough weekend, losing to Sutton and narrowly beating the Hawks. So they will be looking to put in a much better performance against us. More from Mike Moore next week.
So, as we say, enjoy more of Mike Moore's Monday Mantra next week on Time to Go Wild Radio. We're just talking off air. I mean, that song only reminds you of one thing, doesn't it, Doug?
It certainly does. It's Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, absolutely legendary scene. A legendary film, in fact. Absolutely brilliant. He pulls it off so well. Well, I think we're going to play a little bit of this. Pull it down, because we have a bit of news. Yes, as the terrible trio on a certain TV show. Now, for a little bit of the news. And it's from the disciplinary department of the NIHL this week. Oh, and it's been a busy week. We'll start off with the top, with Guildford Phoenix player Montgomery, I think it's Gaylor, suspended for 2 games after getting 5 penalty points added to his record following a match penalty against Slough. Oof. Another naughty one. Next one up, Doug. A favourite of ours.
Oh, Joe Graves.
Yeah, go on.
I can't read it.
Oh, yes. Following the game against the Wild the other week, Joe Greaves of the Altrincham Aces has picked up a match ban for a fight in the game on October 8th, and he's of course received his automatic 2 games suspension and 5 penalty points on his record. So yeah, and you got to look out, you got to behave yourself when you're on the ice. No point in getting too naughty.
There was a bit of an unusual one, wasn't there?
Yeah,
it's been on the news.
Go on.
With one of the coaches receiving a 2-match penalty, which has been held over to the end of the season because he didn't control his bench.
Yeah, Invicta Dynamo's bench coach receiving 2-game suspended ban. Yikes. Another one for Cameron. Here we go. An altercation in the first period of NIHL South 2 between Chelmsford Chieftains and Invicta Mustangs. Over what? Oh, it was the Invicta Mustangs, I must say. I'm not pointing at the Dynamos. I'm standing corrected. Over 100 penalty minutes were handed out at 9 minutes and 25 when the game reached 100. With the game reaching a total of 176 penalty minutes. Ouch.
So does it tell you how they were made up for the 100 penalty minutes?
It's mainly fighting penalties. Match penalties for fighting were awarded to Chelmsford's Cameron and Grant Bartlett. Oh dear. So yes, well, we may as well have a little look, because last week we talked about the new feature they've got on the IHA website. You make the call. And the first question, because this is all about rules, and we've had some naughty boys, so we'll come on to the rules.
Yes.
Now, I'm just going to change something up a little bit here. That's better. Because if you're naughty, you end up on a bit of a holiday. So, question 1 last week. A stick measurement is requested. After a goal, the stick is found to be illegal. Does the goal still stand? Does the decision change during the overtime and penalty shootout?
Apparently, much to our surprise, the goal stands.
Yes, Rule 147. Shame we haven't got Mark Gillingham here, because apparently he's really good at knowing these.
Oh yes, he'd know the ins and outs.
So yes, it states a stick measurement can be requested after a goal in regulation time, but if the stick is deemed illegal, the goal will still be allowed. The same rule applies for overtime and penalty shots, which I'm actually very, very surprised of.
Well, I would be, because I would think Perhaps the stick measurement will be there so you don't get an unfair advantage. If you've got an unfair advantage, then why would you be allowed to...
continue,
continue and actually gain from it. Because if you scored a goal, you've gained, haven't you?
Well, ironically, I've actually seen... Well, from some of my standpoints at previous rings, I've been able to see the bench and see the sticks, and you can actually see on some of the sticks for teams in the past, I've not seen it saying in present, but teams that I've seen playing against in the past, where they have 2 sticks. And, well, let's put it this way, there were some players whose sticks were almost like a complete banana. The blade was that curved, it was going to hook around the puck, and there was no way it was going to slip off. And you could actually tell because they'd marked them.
Yes.
Anyway, question 2. Can a player be awarded an assist and a goal?
No.
Well, we didn't think that was
possible.
It's a bit
unfair, really, wouldn't it? It's...
Well, I mean, if I pass it to Doug passes it back to me and I score... no one else has done it. So, I mean, that one's quite straightforward. And now the other one, the third question of last week, is can a team have 2 goaltenders on the ice at any time? Now, we thought it was potentially down to having a goaltender on the ice and you say your backup dressed as an outskater.
No, but it's when you can change goalkeepers on the fly, can't you?
Yes. So you just got to be very, very careful that you don't leave your net empty and no one decides to... they don't end up clashing into each other and knocking themselves out. In fact, on the subject of goaltenders, last night, goaltenders went a wee bit AWOL at one point.
They did, didn't they?
Yes, I think it was Steph.
Yes, she did.
Steph went and did a complete psycho manoeuvre, came out, tried to play the puck, left the goal empty, then Nottingham played it, and it just trickled off the outside of the post. I'm like...
But mind you, you did have an excellent save one-on-one.
Oh, super saves. Both keepers played really well. Steph was absolutely outstanding. It's just a case of a couple of little ones. So, again, we still want to know your comments. 07716 672 874. 07716 672 874. Start your text with TTGW. They don't cost you anything more than a standard message, so if it's on a tariff, you don't have to worry. Right. This week's questions, these we can put out there for a little bit of thought and come back to. Can a linesman stop play for a high sticking of the puck in the defending zone?
High sticking of the puck?
That's an interesting one.
Well, presumably the linesman can stop any penalty.
Depends. There are some, I know.
Or is it that the referee's jurisdiction only?
I may be mistaken, but I know if it's a penalty on the play, the linesman can call majors. So if there's a major penalty called, they can stop the play. Now, the next one. If a player lowers his body position to deliver a check to an opponent's knee area, should a penalty be called? And if so, what penalty?
Definitely.
Well, I'd say it should be called.
We had this discussion with Chris Wells before the season started. He's one of the referees.
Yeah.
And he said, because we were discussing something that happened in the playoffs, and he said you have to show it's deliberate.
No, that was because we were saying intent to injure, but this is just a normal penalty call, I think, this one.
No, if he's hit the back of the leg with his stick, it's slashing, isn't it?
There's slashing or there's cross-checking in that. That looked more like a cross-check to me.
So if someone's actually deliberately lowered his body weight, his body, by bending his knees, it's deliberate.
But in this case, what call do you think it would be? Clipping? Tripping?
I don't know. I still go for intent to injure.
Well, it's a case of would it be? Yeah, but is it a clipping call? Is it a tripping call? Is it in its body area?
It's not tripping.
It could be. Could be clipping.
I think it's probably clipping out of the two. But we'll see when the answers come on, because they remember. Yeah. Well, probably if Mark's listening, he'll probably tell us anyway.
Come on, Mark, if you're listening, you can give us a shout on this. Right, and the last one, question 3. During play, player A9 breaks a stick. He immediately discards the broken section. Player A10 is a teammate of A9, and he slides his own stick along the ice to A9, who then picks it up. Firstly, is this permitted And if not, which player should receive a penalty?
Well, my first thoughts on reading that question were, has A9 got rid of all of his stick, or just part of it?
Well, I'd assume we'll go for it snapped, so half's on the ice and he's only got the shaft.
Right, so if he's got the shaft in his hand, he'd have to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's got illegal equipment.
So that's... They're saying he's discarded his broken section.
Right, so so you can swap sticks on the ice.
Now, as far as I know, I've seen it where the player skated to the bench and picked up a stick. I've seen it where a player has been handed the other a stick from his teammate. But as far as sliding it across the ice, I don't know.
I've seen one where netminders have lost their stick and the players give them a stick.
Yeah, that's legal. That is legal.
So it's one of those ones where it could be interesting what the answer is.
So anyway, answers on a postcard. If you've got any ideas, your comments on that, drop us a text 07716 672 874. Start your message TTGW, and we'll put your thoughts out on air. So, a bit of an interesting one, that, and we'll bring you the answers when we find them out for next week's show. I really do like that section.
It's good.
Yeah, you make the call, because it gives you a different dimension to all the calls, because the number of times you think it's one thing and it's something else.
Have you actually seen the rule book?
Yes.
Because online it's 248 pages.
Yes. Actually, I had to look up the abbreviations for a couple of penalties. And there was one, I'm going to call it up now, and it's been a long time since I've seen this penalty. Now, in fact, there were some games this weekend that's had some humongous amounts of penalties. And this one in particular, I'm not naming the game, but one player got 24 minutes, one got 10 minutes, another got 10 minutes, one got 12 minutes, another player managed to somehow get 60 minutes of penalties in one go.
In one go?
You got 44 minutes of penalties at one point in the game, unless this is some strange entry. But for a player to get 2 + 2 + game, and it's written 2 + 2 + 20 + 20, misconduct, game misconduct. It's like, youch. But one I haven't seen is an abbreviation, GR-MI.
GR.
Now, GAMI is game misconduct.
Yes.
GRMI. What do you think that is then, Doug?
No. Half-ice misconduct?
No, misconduct.
Gross misconduct.
Gross misconduct, yes. It's been a long time since I've seen anyone get a gross misconduct in a hockey match.
So what would actually amount to a gross misconduct?
Really upsetting the ref. So yes, if people know which game we're talking about, again, send us a shout and let us know your comments on that one. But yeah, I mean the games this weekend were quite varied in their scores. I mean, we'll start off, if I find the right page. Here we go. We'll start off with morally D1. I mean that league is pretty much starting to take shape in terms of where all the teams are going to be this year, I'd say. Telford, Blackburn Hawks, Sheffield Steel Dogs, Hull Pirates, Solway Sharks, and Whitley Warriors at the top. Sort of 10 points up to 16, and then you've got a gap to Solihull, Billingham, Dragons, and Nottingham towards the other half of the table.
Yeah.
But I know Solihull have had a big change. So yes, Danny McCreel, their coach, has stepped down this last week to concentrate more on his family. So they'll be appointing a new coach in the meantime. I haven't found out who it is yet, so it'll be announced at some point in the near future. So keep your eyes and ears open on what happens with Solihull, because they have a good, very experienced squad, the Solihull. But moving on to the D2 Laidler League, it's also starting to take shape. A couple of interesting results. I mean, Blackburn Hawks D2 team with Sheffield Senators.
Yeah, they held them to a 3-goal split.
Yeah, yes.
And looking at the Senators team, it wasn't dramatically reduced.
No, shots 25 on Blackburn, 48 on Sheffield. So, actually, it's reasonable stats. But, oh dear. Yeah, quite a few penalties at the end of that game.
I'm looking at the Senators' penalties here. Elliot now got 32 minutes.
Yeah, he got unsportsmanlike in a game misconduct at the end of the game, so that was 30 minutes.
Right.
So it kind of takes its toll when someone gets that, but there's been again a couple of other interesting ones, and I mean the Aces Dragons game. I mean poor Charlie Perry. We'll give him a shout out because he's a former Riverside Raider. I mean, he faced 74 shots. 74. I don't know how. He must be poor guy must be having nightmares. If anyone out there has a message from Charlie, or Charlie wants to send us a message to say if he's having nightmares about seeing pucks all night and all week, I wouldn't be surprised. That is a horrendously large amount of shots. 74-11 with the shot differences in that match.
So how did Charlie get 2-minute penalty then?
Where are we? Charlie, what number is he?
Number 2, slashing.
15.
15, slashing.
Probably it was at the end of the game, end of the period. Probably somebody. The usual one, if I'm not mistaken, for goalies getting a penalty is when someone drops in the crease on them.
Oh yes.
So that's the usual sort of problem with that one.
No, 2 minutes.
But so all in all, it's a very interesting week. I mean, we've got the fixtures coming up in a little while. In fact, we're going to take another break for another song. It's another good one to get the old atmosphere going in a hockey match. What about a little bit of Black Eyed Peas? And I got a feeling, Doug.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, time to have a little look at our website reminders and what's on guide. So, of course, our website, www.widnesworld.co.uk, for all your Puckers Pals, highlights, podcasts, and ticket information. Don't forget to check out the sponsor zone as well, if you're interested in doing any more kinds of sponsorship. And, of course, our own and loan shirts going fast. There's not many left. Game shirts, £75. Warm-up shirts, £60. What have we got left, Doug?
We've only got 4 left. We've got Danny Bracegirdle's away and warm-up, Nick Manning's warm-up, and Tom Jackson's away. So that's a brilliant result.
Yeah, come on. There's got to be someone out there who wants them.
Go on, get them hot for Christmas.
Oh, yes.
A nice Christmas present.
Then we've got plenty of games coming up. So what's happening?
All right, on Sunday, we have the Senators visited. So that will be a bit of payback, or they were going to try and pay us back for our win when we were away. And the following week, on the Saturday, the 28th, we go to the Coventry Blaze, and the face-off is 7:30. Sunday, the same week, 29th, we host the Telford Tigers again. That's twice we've had them away. Then on Sunday the 5th, we are away at the Altrincham Aces. Face-off is 5 o'clock. And Sunday, the 5th of November, also has a game with the Widnes Wild Women against the Swindon Topcats. So all RTL Widnes Wild home games are on Sundays and face-off at 5:30, as do the women's games when they're at home. We have some additional things to mention. There's a Halloween foam party.
That's right, foam party.
Foam party.
Yeah,
right.
They fill the ice with a load of foam and you skate around in it and get all
cool. That's on Saturday the 28th of October from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. The price is £10. Tickets available online or at reception. And the other thing we've got to mention is the Christmas show. Do we know what show it's going to be this year?
Oh, I do. I think it's an Around the World in 80 Days show. I should just check the details as you read out the information.
That's going to be on Tuesday the 19th of December. There are 2 shows on, one at 11 o'clock in the morning and one at 7 p.m. in the evening. Tickets are available over the phone, at reception or online. For pricing on that, please contact the rink as they vary.
I'm just finding out the events. If you go to silver-blades.co.uk and click on the events, that's where you will find it. And yes, it's Around the World in 80 Days. So yes, the ticket prices do vary according to where you're going to be sitting for that event. So if you're not sure, just either contact the rink or check out the website. It'll take you to the booking page, and you can find them all out there.
Yes. It'd be quite interesting to see who's playing Passepartout in that, wouldn't it? Pucker Partout. If we get Pucker going and doing that one, that'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I think that's all. The coach travel for the away game to Coventry. We'll let you have more details of that next week.
Yes, but don't forget the pricings, just so you want to check your wallets. It's £4 for Supporters Club members, £7 for non-Supporters Club members, and children with a paying adult is £1. And it is a good laugh out on the bus. You know, somewhere like Coventry, it is quite a long run. So if you want a bit of a break and kick back and relax, why not come on the bus?
Yes, Coventry is a very interesting place to go to.
Yeah, when you get stuck on the ring road.
I've never been there before. Which is rather weird, really. But where near the rink is the very old part of Coventry, isn't it? They've still got some of the buildings that survived the bombing.
Yes, there are some very unusual.
Really unusual old building sites. Well worth a visit.
Yeah, but just be careful which bit of the ring road you get caught on. The first time I went there, I came into the wrong part of the arena and the wrong side, and the map had told me to go the wrong way, and trying to get out back on the ring road, go round and
Is that why you have to try and get terminal velocity so it throws you out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I know we ended up hitting one bit of the road and ended up heading back out of Coventry and turned around. Oh dear. So yeah,
there's also actually a very nice restaurant in the middle of Coventry. If you fancy, the Curry House.
Yes.
If you fancy a curry before the game,
I can't remember the name of it, but they do these nice platter style curries where you get different flavoured curries.
Yes.
So you have a little bit of everything. It's really nice.
And if you do listen to the show, Colin and I do babble on about curries quite a lot because food is important.
Well, the Coventry curry and the Bradford curry is very good.
Oh yes, the Bradford one.
So, oh goodness me, it's 1:45. Well, I think I'm going to play another song just to have a little bit of a change. Another one, because, well, this weekend we've got a game, so as you two say, it's going to be a beautiful day. Well, we're really hoping it's going to be a beautiful day this coming Sunday when the RTL Widnes will take on the Sheffield Senators. There's a bit of you two.
It's going to be an interesting game, isn't it?
It is going to be an interesting game.
We welcome back one of our old favourites, George Crawshaw.
Ah, yes, Georgie Crawshaw. Cracking young lad, cracking player. And hopefully his mum and dad will be coming over as well.
Yes.
Miss them at games, actually. Andy Shutt, he's up to his old tricks again. Apparently, according to him, you can curry everything, but you can't curry love. I don't know. What am I going to do with him? He's almost as bad as me when it comes to Tuesday night show.
What do you think of his new instrument at the game on Sunday?
He split a few notes.
Yeah, but he's thinking of using it at games. I think what I suggested was you have it over the other side so that we can hear the bugle, but it won't be in our ears. It's probably a bit more annoying than the air horn.
Yeah, that was actually quite interesting because it's over 20 years since I last played bugle, as I was lead bugler at the I'm going to give them a plug, the 4th Halton Sea Scout group in Garston, and I was one of the lead buglers for must have been over 5 years. And I had to stop playing when my teeth went a bit loose, and it was very, very frustrating because I did enjoy playing it, and seeing the bugle, it was a bit too much to resist, and I thought, oh well, let's have a go. And I realised I could still hit a few notes, but I had to make sure I pointed the thing upwards because it was rather loud when I play.
It was very loud
when I played.
It was very loud when Shotty was playing. We were sitting there thinking, perhaps you shouldn't play it during game. Because the players may want to hear each other. I'm
just hoping the people in front. I know there's Mike, Lynn and the kids in front, and hopefully they weren't getting deafened.
Well, hopefully people weren't deafened, yeah. So we have a bit of a news from across the pond.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we have the new franchise, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Seem to have hit the ground running.
Yes.
They've created 2 new franchise records. The first one was to be the first franchise team to win back-to-back away games.
Ooh.
Which has not been done before. And they won 3 games in a row, which has not been done before. A few teams have done 2 games in a row. But the Golden Knights have actually gone on now and they've done 3. And unfortunately, when they were playing the can't remember the Red Wings.
Oh yeah, the Red Wings. Yeah.
Fleury got injured. He got a concussion again. But Subban's brother went into goal for them on the next game and nearly got a shutout. He was 30 seconds from having a shutout in his first, I think it was his first game for the Golden Knights.
Wow.
So it was all good.
I was watching a couple of NHL games online the other day. There was one, Ottawa Senators, Detroit Red Wings, and it went into overtime, but it was 0-0 for most of the game. Then it just went to 1-0 and then 1-1. It was an absolute nip and tuck game, and it was seat of your pants stuff. It was almost as thrilling as the RTL Widnes Wild against Altrincham Aces were. I mean, up until that last 5 minutes, the Wild were holding on. 1-0's a hard one to defend.
It was almost like a poker game on the on the ice. It was, yes, you're sitting there holding your cards. Oh no, we've lost it. And then fairy tale ending for us.
Yes.
The ex-Aces player aced the Aces.
Definitely
Mikey
did.
Gilbert scores the winning goal.
Oh yes, and the thing is, in the past 5-on-5 overtime was always one thing, but 3-on-3, it is a very, very tactical way to play hockey, and
it's exciting.
It's exciting. It can also be very, very frustrating for depending upon who holds the puck.
Yes.
But yes. By the way, a quick shout out, Matt. Yes, you were right. Which game we were talking about that rather large amount of penalties? It was actually prompted by a message I saw from you earlier online about comment regarding it, so I looked up the game online and went ouch when I saw the number of penalty minutes. If you want to know which game it is, just check out the EIHA website, have a look through some of the D1 and D2 games, and you'll see exactly which game we're talking about. As for one of my teams in NHL, we're just not, both Carl and I are in agreement, we're not talking about it. No, we're not talking about the Canucks.
Well, you just mentioned them now. That's you have talked about it.
No, I'm not saying about their results.
Well, the result for my team, the Blackhawks, has been mixed over the weekend. They won one, lost one.
Oh, that's not so bad.
But then they got to. I think it's got 4 days off now until Thursday.
Oh well. I noticed Katie Hills has been online. Katie Hills was missing from the lineup at the weekend, but her number 13 shirt did have have our newest recruit to the Widnes Wild with me, of Katie Fairclough, and. I'm joking aside here. I mean, it did look quite funny. All of a sudden, seeing Katie Hill's jersey going on, but poor Katie Fairclough's getting swamped by it. But she handled herself really well.
Oh yes,
must admit, an absolutely top addition to the squad.
Well-deserved man of the match,
MVP.
Yeah, most valuable player. Yes.
Most valuable player. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll take my hat off to Steph Drinkwater in goal last night. I mean, some of the saves she was pulling off. She did decide to sort of give us all a minor heart attack by going AWOL, as we said earlier on, but no. A couple of them I know she'll want them back, but first game of the season for the girls, I mean...
No, they did well. It was. You almost wish you'd had a pre-season friendly to get the cobwebs out of the way.
Yeah, you could see some cobwebs in the
because
first
when
period.
it came up to period 3, as Sophie said, they were cooking on gas.
Yeah, they definitely were getting it all together. It was starting to click, and... You know, I mean, it was actually sweet. Lean's short-handed marker was really, really good. That really rounded things off.
Yeah, and then when they learn to pass to each other sometimes.
Well, I just looked at the clock and it's time to bring another show to an end. But do not fret, dear listener. We will be back next Monday from 7 here on Halton Community Radio with more Time to Go Wild. And I'll be back tomorrow night from 10 with more from my musical mental mayhem in the box of delights from rock to country and pop to preposterous. But don't forget, come down to the rink on Sunday. Wild v Senators, it'll be a cracker.
It will, yes. We want us to be the extra player.
Oh, be loud, be proud, and of course, be wild. So,
good night.
Till next week, we'll play out with a bit of Calvin Harris. And the fisticuffs used to happen in the 80s. He says it was in the 80s, but we just like a good game of hockey.
We do, yes.
Till next week. Ta-ra.
Good night.